Welcome, Monster Hunter fans. This is World Eater 2025, along with Salt and Pepper. Enjoying Monster Hunter Rise. I'm going to tell you about some things that I do like and I don't like. Right now, we're at the top of the tree with the Kahoot Owl. This owl right here brings me wonderful gifts every 2 to 3 missions. When you come here, you want to look for the nest so that you can grab a couple of goat eggs and some Lagny apples. It's quite a little climb to get to the top, and it opens up an area where either A, you can go to the training area by taking your little task boat over here. This will get you to the training area, which is right beyond those, I don't know if you could see it, but it's right beyond those tassels. And these are my 2 submarines. You have to purchase these dogs, and this is Argosy. So they've changed the Argosy a little. You go to this lady, and she orders the 2 pets that you've trained to go and get items for you. It's not that complicated, and I'm not going to really show you, but you have access. What I do like is you have access to these other areas. Like, you can get on the boat, but right now you can't really go anywhere. It would be nice if you can get on this boat and take it somewhere, but they just gave you access to get on and off of the boat. Nice little customary gimmick, but it's pretty cool. As you can see, she's better than the old man that sits in front of his little shanty. And now we got a cat over here, and he's painting. You know, one day I'd like to see if we can get a picture or something from the cat, but he might draw our scrolls. So this is the cat that's making the scrolls. This is my Palamute and my Palico. That's Pepper and Salt. Over here is a training statue from the Dojo, in which you give them a Langley apple. Trying to get that right. And they go over here and they work out so that you can take them out on missions with you. That's the Dojo guy that you pay, which is a Palico. Over here's my man. This is where you buy the Buddy Scout. This is where you buy your animals. And then you got your Meowcenary. This is where you send everybody out to go and get you different kind of, plants, rocks, special items, and so forth. Pretty neat little area. Now, what I do like is the fact that the town is laid out pretty well. What I don't like is that you always have interactions with somebody at the start of the game. Now that I'm at level 72, I really don't have too much to talk about with everybody. But at the start of the game, everybody's got a task for you to do. Everybody's got their hand up. Everybody's questioning you. Now, one of the cool things is that this is your hut. This is your little house that you stay in. And I do like the fact that they have chests, in very good locations all over the map. So from here, this is your housekeeper. Now, your housekeeper, unlike Monster Hunter World, your housekeeper was the female and the cat. Well, no, the person that you work with was the female. But the cat, I think you could change his clothes and stuff like that. This cat, pretty much you can get all of the information from the Meowcenaries, the Argosy, and the Buddy Dojo to see how everything is doing, whether your shipment came back, and so forth. Okay? The gallery he collects, and you have room customization. But I think the room customization is shoddy, because the only thing that you get to do is throw a scroll on the wall. And I think that scroll was painted by the cat at the Argosy. So I'm sitting here, and I'm going through the 2 pages of scroll that I got. Magnamalo and all of that. Gross and Mitsubishi and Rathalos. I know I just butchered that name. Mitsune. Narakuga, Anjaneth, Magnamalo, Tenatrodon. I probably butchered that too. Well, those are just the scrolls that you can use. So I just, whatever come to the last one, I just threw it up on the wall. I don't like the fact that there's no trinkets. There's nothing, and I'm quite sure that there's something coming as the events start coming. But it's nothing really to put in my house. I have seen people with pictures on the wall as far as the gallery is concerned, but nothing to the point where, it can go into your house. I guess you had to have a package to have a picture on this wall over here. Okay? So that must have been something that came with that pre-order package. I have seen people when they're talking and they got a little picture on the wall. So, secondly, it's this cat that I discovered at about level 25 who comes out and he's the gossip person of the entire. I just love the way he's backed up like, oh my God, you caught me. But he is the gossip of the entire town. So he tells you about each and every person in the town, the dirt. He gives you the juice. So you got to talk to Fukaguchi, the informant. You got to talk to him. And he also gives you a couple of paw prints. Now we're getting out into town. There's actually no reason for the giant tuna and for you to talk to this guy. They're always roasted nuts over here, but it's never manned by anybody. We got my man over here. He sends you out on a few missions, and he's always practicing, but he has yet to get into a fight with anything or anybody. He's kind of like your trainer. Over here we got I guess this is the bath, the laundry. We got the swordsman, but you can't buy swords. You can't buy any of the cool stuff from the apprentice, so I don't quite understand that. This is the guy that you operate with. Okay, the smithy. Hammond the blacksmith now. He's got all the cool gadgets and everything. And then you got the buddy smithy over here, which is pretty cool. You got some backup. Okay, and then further up the hill, here's my man, Fujin, the elder. And we've seen him in most of the Monster Hunter. He just gets around. Pretty cool. He does help out greatly in the rampage. We don't want to talk to him. I hate the fact that you can't get in this area in the back where they're smelting and keeping the town warm, but you can kind of peek through and see what the guys are doing. It's about 100 degrees, I guess, and he's sweating out there and he's keeping this place hot. Okay, so as we leave town square, we got our cat. This cat takes us out to the internet. And this cat also gets you to your add-on content. This is where the 2.0 update came from. And I don't know about the mutual likes list, but I guess Jay and Benya has been added. So this way you could play locally or you could play online. We'll go over to the Apple Girl. Oh, she's not here. Well, that's kind of cool. So I guess that the visitors or the salespeople, they're in and out and they're moving around town, which is pretty cool. Now, this is your pet post. This is where you change your buddies out. So if I wanted a different Palamute, if I wanted 2 Palamutes, I could go to this board and I could select my buddies, which would be 2 Palamutes, or I could go with 2 Palicos. Each one. You can also you also have to come to them to remove the armor. You can do it on the quest as well too. If you go inside of your tent, you can remove the armor, give them different weapons and so forth for them to operate with. And then once again, another handy chest, which is pretty cool. Over here is our dining area where they pick, I forget what these things are called. Let's sit down. Eat a meal. They are dangos. I don't know why I can't. Now, I'm not into the dangos. I like the original meals that Monster Hunter has prepared year after year after year. So just to get these, but they have simplified eating. Okay, you got the dango polisher, which speeds up your weapon and sharpness. What I always look for is the, you better have it. There it is. Dango Moxie and Adrenaline prevents fainting one time. This is always there. That Mango Moxie and Adrenaline is always there. And then you can add on Fire Resist, which has a 90% chance of activation, along with Dango Weakener, meaning that the large monsters encountered on quest have been increased or an increased chance of being weaker than normal. That's good, because sometimes you want to go and beat up on a monster a little bit so that you can ride him over into the other area where your monster is that you want to fight. And mounting, this game is all about mounting. I hate the fact that I just passed up. I think that was just a wall, but it was something over here. Oh, this is a part of the inner workings of this dojo, but we'll get to here in a second because we actually have to go through here. Now, I've had access to this area, but nothing has happened in this area yet. So, as far as Habashiri, the sailor, is, I see them bringing things in and moving things out. But right now, we have no access to this area at all. And there's a small little hut over here, too, in which we don't have access to. Now, this must be a gift for the gods. I just did see something glowing right there. So, no, nothing. Nothing happening. It's just glowing. It must be a spirit eating the fish. Okay. So, I know that this is going to work for something. I just don't know what, where, or when. We won't do the why or the who. That would be the 5 W's. And we got, again, Harper Ishii, the sailor. And foreign merchants are always telling me about all these great heroes out there from all the places far and wide. But I think you just might be the best of them, World Eater 2025. Yeah, he's always uplifting. You know, I've got a sneaky suspicion I sell pretty well to you all. Yeah, but he's not selling me anything yet. So we'll see what's in the plans for him. This is kind of dry, that's dry. He's bringing in something, but we don't know. There's a cause for him. It's the reason why he's here. Monster Hunter World is holding it tight. So, this guy over here, this is where you get your arena quest. And then you got this sexy lady over here, the high-rank Huntress. She gives you a couple of tasks to do. But she just basically hangs out and watches the water. Okay, nice little photo op. And then we got Master Utushi. He is our arena quest guy, and he is another one of the guys that trains you as well. So if you want to go to him, you want to do your arena quest, I've done everything but the last one. Yeah, and I haven't done the last one yet. I don't know if I want to fight 3 monsters at the same time with lower tier weapons. But you got to be up for that challenge. I'm quite sure I will get to that challenge one of these days. It just popped in there a couple of days ago. So I haven't had the heart to do it yet. This is our chef. The chef, Otamai, he gives you new dango recipes. And he also gives you a couple of missions to complete. When you complete those missions, they give you little items and your kitchen grows. So dango is what they're selling you. Over here, I got Hanoi, the Hub Maiden. She does basically the same thing that your girl did back in Monster Hunter World. And here's the guild store. Cool thing about the guild store is they have a melding pot. This is where you take all of your items, your spirit orbs, things that you might have a lot of, and you trade them in to get talisman. Now, unfortunately, the talisman that I have bought have all been garbage. I must be on the gal table, and no, I'm not going to confirm that. But that's how you meld to get those talisman. If you had amiibos, you could place your amiibo on your game, and the amiibo would show up, and you would be that character or have an opportunity of playing that character. This guy operates, and sometimes there's a lottery as well. So this is one to look out for. Now over here we got a quest board, and on the quest board, this is where we do majority of our hunting and gather our quests. They're so polite. So as you can see, I've completed all the quests, so there must be more quests to come. I've chased it the basil geese or basil geese through all of the boards. I think the basil geese is on all of the boards. So lava caverns, the flooded forest, the frost islands, the shrine ruins, and then he came into the desert. So me and the basil geese, we have been friends for the last 48 hours. Okay? I've beat him in each and every scene, or I guess you could say environment. I beat him in each and every environment. I'll tell you one great thing about this is that going on a quest is pretty nice. You got a little loading time, but it's not too long. But going on a quest is really fast because most of the people know what they're doing. These matches are not that hard. I think that they stepped up the game a little bit with the introduction of Teostra, the introduction of Diora, the introduction of Beetlegeist, and the introduction of, it's one more, come on, work with me, Diablos. Okay? And the Rampage quest has just brought upon Apex Diablos, which is really fun to fight. But you can't fight him in an environment just yet. And an Apex Rathalos, which she's fun to fight too. I think the best fight of them all is the Apex Masuni right now. The Wind Serpent, I'm not feeling the Wind Serpent Ibushi, and I'm not feeling the last one either. I just don't think that those monsters that they gave us on as far as the end game is concerned are that great. So let's get into my equipment loadout sets, because I'm trying to find the Narwa. Okay, the Narwa was just not that great of a monster. Oh, I think I have on. I would have displayed the equipment, but I got on the God darn it, what do you call it? I got on the layered armor setting. So let's just take the layered armor setting off. And then that way you guys can take a peek at the Narwa set, which is a beautiful set. But you know, I'm going to keep this set, and I'm going to buff this set, and I'm going to take it up to its higher level, because I know right now it doesn't do much, but it can keep you in a fight. And Thunder is pretty relevant. And now as we go up the stairs, you don't really have to leave the inside of that hub or this hub, this gathering hub. And you can forge your weapons with the young lad. So you can either use the old man outside, or you can use the young lad right here to forge your weapons. And you can also run over here to the cat, which is the buddy, and you can forge your layer for your Palico or your Palamute. Okay, so right now I'm doing like in-game stuff, and this stuff can be those Ibushi scraps and the Nara scraps and the Basil scraps and Teostra scraps. You get that sometimes when you're fighting, and sometimes, you know, with the cat, the Meowcenary cat, when you send them out to those different locations, and if they encounter a Teostra, or they encounter a Beetlegeist, you know, you can get those scraps and transform and make the outfits for your canines and for your palamuts. So that's pretty good. And you can also trade for scraps too. So if you have conflict with one of these monsters, then you could say, well, I want some Voidian scrap. And then if you have Voidian pieces, you can make you one or two pieces so that your monsters can have, your, not your monsters, so that your palicos or your Malumuts can get the clothing necessary so you can go out there and fight. I think the whole setup is pretty good. And once again, you got another beautiful chest with the pet board. So they're really good about the chest and the pet board. I don't think there's a pet board downstairs, however. And there's your housekeeper again. Lovely housekeeper, you must be shopping for me. And once again, you can go and do your room customization, your meow scenarios, work your Argosy, and your buddy Dojo. Now, let me explain some things that I do like and I don't like. I don't like the fact there's not enough event quests just yet. And I know that they're rushing it, but we only got one little funky event quest. Okay? And I don't like the fact that the monsters for real Monster Hunter fans are pretty much way too easy. Okay? Sometimes I just take a set that's not really up to par just to give myself a challenge. And I use that set to give myself a challenge, just to fight the monster and get something out of it. Most of the moves that have been done, they've altered. They've taken away some moves from some of the monsters. So I don't feel that those monsters have the same intensity that they had when they were in World or Iceborne. So it would be nice if they gave us a little bit harder monster to fight. I understand that this is an introduction for the people who've never played Monster Hunters before too. So it might be a slow build up. So by the time we get finished with this process, we might get a Fatalis. We might get a tempered Teostra. We might get a tempered Beetlegeist, There's a lot of monsters running around in Monster Hunter's world too. Well, not the monsters itself, but the smaller monsters that don't have the big bosses. So there's a Jaggy that's running, or we got baby Jaggies running around, but I haven't seen the big Jagras yet. We got baby Ludriths running around, but we haven't seen the big Ludrith yet in the lava caverns. So that's something that I'm looking forward to seeing as far as Monster Hunter Rise is going. So far, it's a good product. Was it worth the $60.25 that I spent? So far, no. I don't believe it was worth that. But with the monsters and the updates coming, I think that it'll be a little bit better. There is a couple of cool things that have happened. Like, check this perfect picture out. Let me snap a shot. Of course, Pepper would move when the picture was perfect. Okay. A couple of things that you got to take into note. As far as pictures are concerned, they do send you out to take pictures, but it's not as in-depth as it was in World for you photo guys out there. The good thing is that when you go to your menu, your radio menu, oh, that was another beautiful picture. Oh, wrong thing. Got to go here. I thought this was the coolest feature of them all. So we go Hunter info. No, come over. Where we going? Where we going? Hunter's notes. Large monsters. What I thought was really cool is that, let me see. What did I take a picture of last night? I took a picture of Camilleos. Or did I take a picture? Nope, I didn't take a picture of him. Did I take a picture of Kyosha? Oh my goodness gracious. Who did I take a picture of? Nothing? Nothing? Nothing. Oh, this is so sad. I should have a picture of the wind serpent. No? No? Oh man, I'm looking bad right now. Well, I took a picture of something last night. Oh, this is embarrassing, embarrassing, embarrassing. But I'm not going to cut it out. It's all a part of learning. Well, whenever you beat a monster, if you take a picture of the monster, it'll pop up. It'll pop up like that. Duh, I should have just beat myself over the head. Whenever you take a picture of your monster, like this is a capture, everybody captures here too. But sometimes you got to kill them if you want to get the prize. But if you take a photo, your photo of the monster that you beat and or killed is put right here, which I think is really, really cool. So at the end of your hunt, you want to either stand in front of or behind and take a picture of the monster, and then that way you got a little Pictionary book at the end of all the monsters that you beat, what they look like and so forth. Because sometimes these drawings, can be distracting. Like they got some weird ones. Like this one right here. What in the world is an Anxum? I don't know what that is when I'm going to look for it. I don't understand that. Everybody knows what a Royal Ludruth is. This, to me, that's not a Barroth. Okay, it doesn't look like a Barroth. It doesn't have the qualities of a Barroth. It's one of those abstract drawings. This thing right here looks like a upside down leech coming to feed off of my blood. Okay, it does not look like a kazoo. So, I mean, not all of the pictures are bad. Some of the pictures are pretty cool. This does not look like a Bizarrios at all. This is another one of those abstract pictures. I don't even know how we got here, but I just want to explain that. The Summoner, a little bit not as cute, really ugly. The Raytheon, the Barroth. The Barroth's teeth are not red, they're white. Toby Kadachi, Magnamalo. The Narakuga, come on, we just couldn't go all black. We had put a little purple on the eyes and stuff. He's all black. Mitsumushi. This is a really weird one as well, though. Alamandradon doesn't look anything like this when you approach it. I got to take a picture of him, too. Yeah. Those pictures, some of these pictures do not depict what the monster that is definitely not a Diablos. That's kind of Arachne. We got a Kushladora, the Camila. This is the best fight so far in this Monster Hunter Rise. Fighting him one time, and I only fought him 3. He actually did disappear in the mist, and I was looking for him. I was literally looking for him, which is really, really cool. Teostra has some amazing effects as far as fighting her, so I'm going to be looking forward to a Temper Teostra. The Rajing, strong arms as usual, hard to hit, but he's not as fast in this as he was in World. Basil Geese, that look like a Basil Geese. Yeah, you can keep the Wind Serpent, you can keep the Thunder Serpent. Apex Azuros, good fight. He has this back push too. When you fighting him, he pushes back into you, so you usually hit a lot of butt, but I got an uppercut because I'm a sword and shield man. This is the best fight to me so far. You better put on your bubbles, though, because you will be slipping and sliding, which I think is the coolest effect of them all, when you're slipping and sliding. And then this Apex Rathalos, he covers a lot of ground with his fire now. So that's a good fight, but they're still a little soft. And then we got the Apex Diablos. The Apex Diablo, he's rough, but oh my God, I mean, if we can get him in an environment, I'm quite sure that he would be even rougher. So, right now, this is all I'm going to talk about. I give it a 1.5 thumbs so far. It's not that bad. It wasn't worth the $60 that I spent. I think that the game is worth about $39.99. My personal honest opinion. Even with the updates so far, we haven't hit that you understand what I'm saying? We haven't hit that, oh my God, this is the greatest thing since sliced bread moment. We've had those oohs and ahs from Monster Hunter World and from Iceborne. And, from some of the previous games. So I'd like for us to get back to those ahs. Those rampages are a special treat. Okay, it takes a lot of planning and a lot of getting used to and a different mind setting. So if you're not really into tactical fights where you have to use artillery, but that's another thing. We don't have heavy artillery. In order to fight those rampage fights, we do got a gong though. You hit the gong and you become like the most powerful being there is on the planet. But it does not affect your cannons and your artillery. I would like to have some kind of heavy artillery that propagates and you can fight really tough matches and use everything that the game has to offer. So once again, this is World Eater 2025, wrapping it up because I see they won't leave me alone right now. And I will be sending out another one tomorrow. So hit that like, hit that subscribe button, and peace. Thank you so much for watching.